So originally, I was asked to come and talk about how different tools were being used for diploma courses. So I've got some of that. I've also got some information about e-portfolios, looking at some of the conversations around learning outcomes. E-portfolios is a really nice fit with that. We've got an upgrade coming up very soon, the 29th and 30th of this month, to CourseLink, so I can show you a bit about that as well. I'll talk very quickly. It's always good to start with a graph that nobody can read, but this is the number of CourseLink sites from the different regional campuses. Up at the top there, Ridgetown, the red line in the middle is Countville, and the green line that shows up kind of darker is Alfred. So we see continued growth from the regional campuses, which is great, and this is in line with our other kind of general use of CourseLink as well. So, and I was going to get into a conversation of why to use course websites, but it sounds like you all have really good ideas. I like to look at, as one of the guiding principles for me and my team, it's a little bit dated, but Chickering and Gamison's 7 Principles of Good Practice in Undergraduate Education. It's really timeless in my eyes. It talks about, and looking at technology, it can do all these things quite well when planned out and integrated into your practice as educators. Encouraging contact between the instructor and the student, and also instructor to instructor. Active learning, we've heard a bit about that today. You guys are doing great work there. Opportunities for prompt feedback, emphasizing time on task, so allowing students the opportunity to learn and not worry about being able to learn from home, being able to learn from different locations. Communicating high expectations and respecting diverse talents and ways of learning. CourseLink and other tools can provide very visual experiences and also can provide access to information from around the world and to varying people, different students with different abilities and different ways of learning. It's quite a powerful tool, as you all know. I read an article recently from Jonathan called Transforming Learning with Technology Beyond Modernism and Postmodernism, or Whoever Controls the Technology Creates the Reality. It's worth a read if you're looking for an article about the effective use of technology for education broadly. And he talks about technology being a cognitive tool and an intellectual partner. And you can read all that, allowing students to articulate what they know, reflect, support, and construct personal representations of meaning and support intentional, mindful thinking. A couple screen captures, and I know that some of you might belong to some of these screen captures. So this is from Kemptville campus. It is a course on renewable energy and agriculture. And I wanted to show this. There's a lot of opportunities within CourseLink to customize your learning environment, your course site, with different colors, different images, different widgets on the home page, to be able to bring out important information, timely information, things that you want students to refer to all the time. For example, when the lecture's happening, when your office hours are, and give it. Create a very welcoming online site that students will want to go to. A lot of people use the content tool within CourseLink. And just so we know, Desire to Learn is the software that supports CourseLink. Sometimes we say Desire to Learn, sometimes we say CourseLink. Our institutional instance of Desire to Learn is branded as CourseLink. So there's really great opportunity to display nice visuals. I know a lot of the diploma courses are very focused on hands-on activities, practical applications of knowledge, and looking at the course sites that are there and currently being used, having the content tool as a repository for these rich visuals, for this very relevant information for students to come back to time and time again. And the content tool can hold anything, right? It can hold tools, it can hold links to other tools, it can hold forms, it can hold PDF documents, Word documents, the list goes on. And this is a feeding schedule that is linked to from the Student Managed Enterprise site. The navigation bar across the top is very customizable by the instructor, course per course. There's a number of tools that are inside of CourseLink that you can tap into, and also ones you can introduce if they are quite relevant. So, kind of the default, and we're having some interesting conversations about this in my team, the default that you have when we create a new course, a course shell, there are links to discussions, the gradebook, content, links, the course homepage. But there are things like Dropboxes, electronic Dropboxes, which some of you use, glossary tools, self-assessments, quizzes. So if you click on Edit Course, it gives you the whole suite of tools that are there available to you. Yes?
Is there a tool with a schedule like that where I have a student automatically get texted the night before saying, hey, you're on for chores tomorrow morning?
In the new version, yes. I'll show you that in just a sec for sure. Yeah. Okay. And this is from Alfred. It's a glossary tool. Very, very good use of it. And it is something that is available to every course, customized to the course. Online quizzes, very useful for kind of pre-test knowledge assessments of the competencies that students have at the beginning of the course, at the beginning of a lecture, at the beginning of a unit. Do folks use quizzes here, online quizzes inside? Okay. It's quite a robust tool, and it can really serve as a way to see where the potential problem areas are, and also allow students to do some mastery over concepts, facts and information as well. And then any type of question you can think of and any combination, so you can do random sets of questions, you can allow multiple attempts, you can allow special windows for students if they have a certain accommodation that you're trying to meet. It can be very visual and it can be text-based as well. There's an interesting use of the quiz tool that I came upon that was pointed to me. Bill Litwin at Ridgetown, he has a paper-based quiz that he distributes to students, and I'm not sure of the time period that they have to take it home and do that, or perhaps they do it in class. And then when it's time for them to enter their answers, they use CourseLink to grade the quizzes. So it cuts down on some of the time of actually grading. And then you can have all your reporting and that type of thing as well. That's just a shot of the grade book. Again, lots of flexibility there. Dropbox. The discussions tool. And this is getting a bit of a facelift in the new upgrade that we're moving to. But there's a growing number of courses across the board that are using discussions. So it's a discussion board. It doesn't happen in real time. It allows for conversation between the students. A lot of courses organize discussions by unit or potentially in different groups for collaborative work and collaborative discussion as well.
Are we going to have the ability in the new version to be able to mark on participation in the discussions, like automatically?
That's there now. That's there now. It'll be a little bit easier to set up. Obviously, it's difficult to get to. When you go to discussions, when you create a discussion forum or a discussion topic, it has the option to make this topic accessible. And when you do that, then it automatically creates a link to the gradebook, and you have your column there, and then as you're reading through, you can assign participation marks.
I want it to mark, if there's content, to do it automatically to give them the grade, and I'll take it away with 130, 160 students. I read them all, but if the system automatically gave them a grade for participating, then I only have to go in and take away a grade if their response is not sufficient. You following me?
I do follow you. I'm trying to figure out if that actually is possible.
It wasn't, your team said no before. I've been through everybody I could find, so I was hoping the new version would do it.
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
I don't believe, no, I'm almost certain that there's no way to just base on if you do something, then you will get a grade. There are a number of tools inside CourseLink which do allow for these structured paths, a crafted learning experience. So you can have a quiz that students have to get a certain grade on before the other quiz becomes available, or before the next unit's material becomes available on the in the content tool. And you can also direct, if you're working with groups inside your course, you can have specific pieces of content and specific messages directed to those individual groups. So it takes some time to kind of think all this through, but it really can provide a rich experience for the students, and it provides some customized learning for the different folks that you're working with in your course. But that's a very good idea. I'll pass it on. Again, in the interest of time, I won't talk about this too much, but obviously technology is a tool for you to use. It does take a lot of inputs and a lot of feedback and a lot of participation from faculty members, from students, from administrators. So, those were the screen captures, the folks who taught the courses of the screen captures that I showed. So thank you. The upgrade. Folks want to know about the upgrade, I'm assuming. Coming up on the 29th and 30th of April, CourseLink won't be accessible. It's going down. We've got some database work that's being done, some interface changes, so it'll be down for 2 days. On the May 1st, we will open up with a new shiny version of CourseLink. In short, it will look different, but hopefully be still familiar enough to use. Of course, if you have any questions, you can give us a call and we can point you in the right direction. There's some notifications that are being built in. Who asked me about notifications? Right over here. That I'll show you in a sec. There's some really nice work that Desire to Learn has done to improve the interface and build in some more consistency. So, and there's a number, a suite of other improvements that are happening as well. This is basically what it's going to look like. Everything's been shrunk down to 960 pixels, optimized for that resolution. So it works very well on tablet devices, it works very well on laptops, as well as desktop machines. What it means from the main page is that we're going from a 3-column view to a 2-column view. And it's a bit more crisp and hopefully quite easy to navigate. Along the top, and I apologize because you might not be able to see it, but one of the big changes is what Desire to Learn is called the Minibar, which is different than the other Minibar that we might be familiar with. But this is something that stays consistent at the top for as you navigate through your different courses. It allows for navigation to the different courses, as well as personal settings, account options, and notifications. So at the top there's currently notifications built into the Desire to Learn platform. So students and instructors, any user, can subscribe to any activity that happens in discussions and news. Where this is going with this new version is it's branching out to gradebook, calendar, Facebook. I'm missing one. Dropbox due dates as well. And what that means is the individual student can choose to get alerts based on the activity, the due dates, the information in the calendar. It is something that the individual user has to do. We can't set up notifications for people. But what it does allow for is for me to get alerts about what's happening in my course on my mobile device or my cell phone, also by email to your Facebook account if you choose to, or to your University of Guelph account. So increasingly, Desire to Learn and other tools are just making information available, right? And then allowing the user to choose how they want to consume that and interact with it. Does that make? So this is the instant notifications, discussions, Dropbox, grades, either when grades are released or when grades are updated, news items, quizzes, and calendars in there too. And they can choose whether they want to have it as a regular daily digest or instantaneously. Just a quick screenshot of the new content tool, and I know there's a lot of use of content tool in your courses. It's hopefully a little more cleaned up for you. One of the things that they're introducing here is in the content tool a drag and drop interface, so you can drag things from your desktop into the content tool, automatically create a topic or multiple topics. So, and it works really well, and it's accessible, which is great. And the calendar tool is getting some improvements as well. I have the opportunity every year to talk with a number of students around what they think they would like to see inside CourseLink and other tools that we manage. And one of the things that always comes back is they really love the calendar tool. They would love to have all of their course events, their due dates, their assignments, all displayed within the calendar tool. So the new calendar tool has a slightly different interface. It allows for feeds in and out of iCal and RSS feeds, which is information can be passed to different calendars from the Desire to Learn calendar. And it allows for multiple calendars, different colors, that type of thing. There's a bunch of work that has been done around mobile as well. We see an increased use of students using mobile devices and instructors using mobile devices to get notifications and also interact with the learning environment that we manage. So there currently is, has anyone accessed the mobile version of CourseLink on their Android, iPhone, Blackboard? Whoops, BlackBerry. Yep. Freudian slip. So it's not an app, it's a wrapper. So it's right now there's nothing that you can do offline through this app, but it is a way to view the content and to interact and get information about your grades, discussions, and that type of thing. There is a new app that Desire to Learn has introduced, and it's free. And it is a way for students to, if they're walking around with their iPad, to view content offline, to set it up so it harvests information from the learning environment, and they can mark it up, underline it. Right now it only works on iPads, but they are branching it out to different devices. So, I mean, we don't see a lot of students walking around with iPads here. We see a kind of growing number because it's difficult to do your essay on an iPad, but the Binder app is there. If folks here use iPads, because there is an app that's aimed more at instructors, and again, as I understand it, their plan is to branch it into different platforms. It is the Assignment Grader app, and the Assignment Grader app allows you, if you use the Dropbox, folks use the electronic Dropbox, I saw some. Okay. It allows you to connect to the Dropbox, download assignments, and then mark them offline. You can assign feedback, you can attach a rubric, and then you can bulk upload those back to the Dropbox as feedback. It works pretty well. I've tried it out myself in a couple different assignments. So, and it does allow for markup It allows you to put in comments and embed those right away. It's called the Assignment Grader app, and it's free as well. So,